everybody wants to be the best person they can be. You said it, I think. You don't even know what that is. So that's the complicated part of life, I think. Like, where are our limits? When do we know we've made it?
You totally nailed it, which is I have felt insecure for decades.
All right, Dom, we're doing it, man. This
Man,
is the origin.
I can't believe we're doing it. Origin, episode 1.
I actually came to Dom. I was like, Dom, I got an idea. I want to do this podcast. I want to run around. I want to interview all these super successful people that we're involved with. And you're like, dude, I think I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Or you had it, or you already had it like in your mix. You were like, I've thought about that. You're a successful guy. You wanted to tell the world.
Everybody that's probably going to come on the podcast, they're either doing one of two things. They're either helping someone become more of themselves and build an image, or they're doing that for themselves, or they're doing both. And I think that there's probably a ton of not only secret sauce, but a ton of pitfalls that, they're going to be able to help us understand that, look, on the way of me building this business that's helping all these other people, here's the things that I'm doing. Here's the things that I did. Here's the things that worked. Here's the things that was total bullshit that didn't work. Like, we need all of those kind of different things from all these people so we can actually all learn a whole bunch. I think on top of that, though, in our notes, I kind of had mentioned that I think it's so fun to be able to ask some similar questions to every single guest.
Yeah.
And some of those questions, because there's so much misconception out there right now about so many different things, that to have the experts on to clear up, like, what is the greatest treatment or product that you believe in and use it, and then which one is complete bullshit. Like, tell us that. Tell us, give us the hacks and the ideas of what's happening in your industry, because, like, in our own industry, we know what's real and we know what's not real. And the problem is, right now, the misconceptions are beating the facts right now.
And we're talking cosmetic, aesthetic, plastic surgery, dermatologic surgery. That's where we can give a lot of insights into. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's complicated. And like you said, of course, objectively how somebody looks, that one's, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's very illustrative to understand how you make somebody feel the way they look. But I think even deeper down to that, in my clinic, I used to do a ton of trauma. I'd be at the county hospital, gunshot wounds, dig me like 15 hours. I'm like sweating when I leave. I missed the dance recital. I was working from like 7 to 7. And you get done with those cases and people are like, doc, they're just, I don't know. The people weren't as grateful as you would suspect. Now I spent an hour and a half getting somebody's jawline to look hot. And I mean, the number of times people have said, like, you literally changed my life. And authentically, they're saying that. I'm like, in a way, I kind of feel bad that making them hotter changed their life. But it's just like, somehow that's the world today, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should feel bad about that. You're making, like we always say, Ben, that we're in the feel-good business. We're not in the look-good business. Like, no one's doing surgery, or no one's doing aesthetic treatments. No one's going to get their hair cut for anything more than feel good in the end. Whether that's getting derived from the fact that they look in the mirror and they see something they like and it makes them feel better, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're feeling better in the end, and that's what's more important than anything else.
It really is. And that's because I get a lot of hate, online. Oh, he's a plastic surgeon. He's doing this to people who don't, need it. He's greedy, whatever. And I normally say, man, don't hate the player, hate the game. I'm just making people hot. They're happy. Like, somehow it beautifully changes the way they look at themselves. And it's a great process. It's good
You're not forcing people.
Yeah, no, the opposite. They're begging me for it, Dom. I mean, they're knocking down the door, throwing money at us. Yeah.
Well, but you do incredible work. I mean, you do incredible work. And when people see the incredible work, they want that. But you're not forcing them to do that. You're not saying you should do this. They're coming to you saying, I'm unhappy about this, and I want you to help me. Basically, what you're saying is, help me be happy about this.
Yeah, it's true. It's the truth.
right?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
You're in the happy business,
Cold heart.
man. You're in the
It's
full blown. You're in the happy.
100%. I'm only here to make people happy. I don't. If I'm not going to make them happy, it's not worth the struggle for them or me. The last thing
Yeah.
we want is somebody who's unhappy. Yeah, I
You know,
like it. So
Ben.
okay, let's get to, like you said, it's a few people. So you mentioned Doris Day has accepted, I think, and
Yeah,
she's
she
a
did.
rock star in almost every
Number
realm.
3 dermatologist in by according to Newsweek. But I would say she's
I would
number
argue against that.
one.
Yeah, me
She's
too.
number
Yeah.
one in America from a cosmetic dermatology perspective. I think
And
there's no one else.
so somebody like her, she's a rock star, New York City. I mean, anybody who could think about building the perfect job, career, life would put her on a pedestal. So as much as she helps other people, I'm really interested in how she became as much of what she is, and if she's really satisfied, if she's like figured out, as you said, the secret sauce to doing it right. Because she's not only a rock star, she's always so damn happy.
She's
I mean, she's
always
just like a
happy.
beautiful person. Yeah, yeah.
She's
All around.
always happy, and that's the thing about her. I think out of everyone else that I've ever met is she is incredibly talented and seems to somehow check her ego at the door
Yeah,
every single time.
nobody does not like her.
Yeah, and we are going to have all kinds of guests on here. So we are going to have the who's who of the injectable world. And I think for everybody, this is important. Some of these names you have heard, some of these names are unfortunately the best kept secrets out in the industry as the best aesthetic physicians in North America. And potentially the world, right? So those are going to be on. We're going to have some fitness gurus. We're going to have some psychology gurus. We're going to have some wellness gurus.
I think
We have
if
a
you're
lot of
listening,
different
you
kinds
can,
of folks.
yeah, you comment, give us your story, tell us, how awesome you are, but still torn about being the best you, like who you think would be the most helpful. I mean, I think getting people in different professions is nice because I mean we're all searching for something, so I think it's important.
Yeah, and I think the will be a lot of really really cool guests that we're going to learn a ton from. And again, our job is to dig in besides all the standard stuff. Like there's not going to be a ton of origin story stuff on here. We want to get in and get concentrated and know. Awesome. Tell us why you are the absolute best at what you do. Tell us why, and also tell us how you're actually managing your life.
Everybody wants to be the best person they can be. You said it, I think. You don't even know what that is. So that's the complicated part of life, I think. Like, where are our limits? When do we know we've made it?
Yeah,
When are we satisfied? Are we ever satisfied?
yeah, and I think a big part of that is having an understanding of what is even possible. Because I think we blueprint on ourselves at a young age, or it's blueprinted on us what is possible. And I don't know about you, but it's probably taken me a long time to crack some blueprints early on to figure out who the hell I am and what I'm about and what I can possibly do.
For me, and I'm still figuring it out. It's not there yet. Like, can you really have it all? Can you really be super satisfied with yourself? Are you happy at home? Are you happy at work? You mentioned the 4-day work week, the work-life balance. I mean, it's really bullshit. I think the beauty is when they're always teeter-tottering. You just never are truly satisfied. Is like when when you know you're doing it right. Essentially, I mean that's
Yeah,
life.
and
Yeah.
I think something you brought up to me before is how do we do all that and still be great dads and husbands? And I don't know about you, but my dad was a shit dad and he was a shit husband, and I was saying I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm going to do what I have to do to try to make it in the world while still actually trying to take care of my family at the same time.
And the work, the dad work thing. I mean, I think we're both successful, aggressive, not in a bad way, but quote unquote alpha style people. So it's hard to be the true alpha, but still, kiss and love and hug your kids and want to be at their dance recital, but you still want to bust balls when you're in the office or working. So it's a delicate balance.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know if you deal with this, but my wife tells me every time I walk into the kitchen after a day's work, she's like, "We are not your employees. your intensity level needs to come down
Yeah.
like a whole bunch. And it's not that I'm mean or anything. It's just that I'm like super revved up when I walk in the house. And I was saying it for some friends. I was like, I totally understand now why, like in the 60s and 70s, people would stop at a bar on their way
Yeah,
home
on the way home.
because
Yeah.
because I think they were potentially subconsciously trying to just get back to them.
Yeah, they were
Um,
breaking. They were breaking. That was it. They would break like work from home. And now, I mean, look at us. We're working right now. You know, this isn't really work, but we're you know, I'm in my I'm in my closet in my basement. You know, my wife told me, she's like, I was like, hey, I'm doing this podcast with Dom, I think, and she's like, she just kind of sighed. She's like, "Is it gonna like take over your life and it's all you do for the next like year?" And I'm like, "No, but I mean, I got to put some effort towards it, you know." So it's like
no, it's
she
going to be
knows it's
all
gonna
I'm going to
happen.
do for the next 5 to 10 years. But yeah, but no, don't worry about the next
More
year.
than that, yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
the goal, man. Hey, and we should
Cool.
shout out while we're talking about how good we are, our gracious host or our gracious sponsors, MD Hyperbaric. We have a
Yes.
tank ourselves. We might have 60 of them one day.
Yep.
Dom, actually, you can get into it. One of these episodes, Dom was just attacked by a pool setup equipment. So it treats concussions, it treats trauma, obviously post-surgical. I think there's longevity benefits to it. So MD Hyperbaric, you know, I would say check them out. They're great, and we're grateful for them to kind of help us out. So everybody just wants to optimize themselves. My goal is that I kind of figure that out, like how to best optimize myself. I think I'm doing a fine job, but I think Dom, you're a great example of it. But then the more I get to know you, the more I see like, man, you also are kind of struggling with these similar things, like finding the best use.
I totally get what you're saying, because I've been a serial entrepreneur since I was 16. I've been suffering from imposter syndrome probably earlier than that. Um, I've been married, like coming up on 23 years. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to get better. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to be a better dad. I feel guilty all the time about how to be a better dad, how to be a better husband, how to be a better CEO, how to be a better leader. And I'm constantly striving for it. I'm starting to come to peace with the fact that it's never finished. And I'm starting to feel better about that just realizing it's never finished. But I think striving for it's great. And I'm actually excited about this podcast about how much I'm going to learn. I want to be able to do this to learn from everybody else. And man, we have so many amazing people that are going to be part of this, and come on and speak to us, and everything from some of the best derms in the world to the best surgeons in the world to
I think, you know,
fitness
I think it's a good question to
psychology and
ask
all that.
people. We're kind of doing this real time, but to ask those people, like, are you truly satisfied? I mean, you got to be, it's kind of a raw question to ask because in a way you're calling out your family and your job and your coworkers and everybody if you say no. But I mean, I think there's more people are torn from this, like you said, if you can accept it, that it's never going to be exactly satisfaction. You're never going to be like done with it. It's always going to be this chase and this drive. Then it's probably easier. But I think that's a good question to ask people. And then what part of it do they think they're missing? What, you know, so like you've said, we know a ton of we both know a ton of doctors, very successful doctors, very successful business CEO style people. But we mentioned my buddy Damon, who does a lot of psychedelic he's a psychologist, so he delivers it, but psychedelic treatments for mental health. I mean, all of this kind of comes down to mental health, physical health. Uh, so it's interesting. It's gonna be an interesting ride.
It's gonna be an awesome ride. And I think if we can do this the right way, it's going to be amazing for people to be able to come to this.
No, I think that's it. I think asking people if you're, yeah, I mean, we have 10 in the docket, but if there's specific things people think would be helpful from this perspective to help people figure out how to be the best them, you know, the more you, let us know in the comments. You know, ping it, list it, forward this. If you have a friend or a buddy or a sister or a brother who you feel like might be struggling, I think with this kind of a dilemma, which can be somebody who's looks like they're struggling from the outside, or a lot of times I think it's the people who are really killing it and super successful. They're busy, they got a lot going on. those are the people I think that are, it's easy to get lost in the mix of this kind of stuff. So yeah, I would say forward it to them, and then stay tuned.
100%. And I would say that we promise that this will be equally, hopefully, motivational as it will be informational.
All right, good. I mean, I think that's good. What do you think?
That was fun.